that's awful. Having to clean that up, I'd be kind of upset. Ooh, what it do, ski? It's your boy Fail34, and today I'm here with our reaction video 2. To be honest, there's not very much beverage in here. It's an espresso. Not espresso, which I commonly say. My life's been a lie. Torchwood. This one is season 1, episode 5. How's it going, everyone? So, this is actually... I was saying this in the Doctor Who video, assuming that you've been watching this, you're in the select few people, in this moment of time, in this reality, where you're actually watching Doctor Who Season 12 along with me as I'm starting Torchwood as well. Season 12, Episode 5 just went up, and we saw none other than the return of a major character that might be in this show, might be the lead of the show, and minds were blown. I was under the impression that Jack was never coming back, and I wasn't really too sure how his fate's gonna end up at the end of this series, like if he's gonna be locked up somewhere, or like, you know, he's not gonna die really, but I didn't really know where he's gonna be. So the fact that he's gonna come back is really interesting to the show. I think it's uncanny though, how the episode that we find Jack again in the regular series, the last episode that I saw of Torchwood was featuring Jack, obviously, but it was a Cyberman as well. That's just as uncanny as it can get, honestly. That being said, let's just dive into episode 5. Wasn't a big fan of Chris's episode last week. That being said, guys, let's just dive into episode 5. So as always, if you enjoyed this one, definitely be sure to smack that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. And don't forget, guys, in case you're interested in getting the full unedited raw reactions and more, then definitely check out patreon.com/fail34 in the description down below. That being said, though, homies, let's get her go. Let's yeet. Yeet. Oh my god, yeah, that pterodactyl was just overkill last episode. And is it 21st century when everything really changes? Granted, I've only lived through a bit of it, but 20th century was pretty hype.
I have to move carefully.
What do we...
I want to frighten them.
Is it like a Robin Hood-esque episode? A mystical creature, like a fairy. Oh, wow! Oh my god! Oh my god! I was actually just shooting the shit. Jesus Christ! That was literally a shot in the dark. Fucking lols. Aliens. That's the answer. That's the Doctor Who universe way. You think something's this, but it's really aliens. Wow, that was the.
You shouldn't be here.
I am still taken aback with the route they went with Yonto. I would have never thought that. That was insane.
Funny sort of weather patterns.
Like, God bless Jack for allowing that. I would never. I'd be like, you're out of here, kid. Oh, man.
Didn't you see what the time was?
Don't be stupid. Should be alright.
Child abduction episode? Oh, no.
Did you hear me?
Away, human child.
Yo, skipping?
Exactly are we
Underrated form of transportation. I think there needs to be more skipping in the world.
I had an invitation from an old friend.
Old friend.
You kidding me?
I suppose I'm one of the fortunate.
Wow,
few
that's
who's been
actually
allowed
such
to
a...
see our little
Wow, that was like verbatim. That was nuts. Seems like we're
This is my
verging off into
first
his
picture.
backstory with the PTSD.
Not that
PS
clear, I know. Well, of course, I'm not the world's best photographer, but
They're all bad.
no, I refuse to believe her.
Well, I suppose one person's good could be somebody else's evil.
That's what his father used to say.
Oh, is that his mom?
Jack, if
More Jack backstory. I'm down. So it seems like once the fairies get you, besides. Oh my god, what the hell is he doing? What is he? Are those petals?
just calm down. Hey, hold on, you.
It's alright, Mum. No one can hurt me.
Oh, she got her fairy godparents. Ah.
Hello, Moses.
Yeah, mostly just pictures of the area.
This is you.
Sorry, no, that's my dad. He and Estelle were quite an item once upon a time.
Then why did they part? Did all three of you ever meet? You, Jack, and his father?
No.
Jack contacted me.
But he doesn't seem to want to talk about his father.
Estelle, when you next see these creatures, you call us immediately. She calls them fairies. I don't.
What do you call them?
Never really had a proper name.
Why not?
Like, this episode feels very different than the past few.
They're
It's
not?
more of like a CIS episode or CSI or
Think
whatever.
dangerous.
Kind of disappointed. I feel like the doctor would. Who was it? It was 10. He would slap with. He would mess with fairies.
When's the last time you saw her watching TV? Or sitting down to have a chat with us? When's the last time you heard a laugh?
So he's been an attentive stepfather. But what is her connection with these damn fairies?
Come away.
I'm leaning towards some sort of like ritual sacrifice.
Just lock me up! Please.
I asked Estelle about your dad. She said she'd never seen the pair of you together.
You lost touch with him after the war. I just happened to catch up with her later.
I mean, we never heard of Jack's father or anything like that, so I mean, they could do something where it's like it's him, and they were an item back in the day. I don't
Anyone
know.
could have made it's that corner of the haystack.
Get him. You know, I could totally believe that. I don't know what the old like the proper lore and history is of fairies, but them being like some like really like out there creatures that are much bigger than they actually are, and they have some sort of guise of a filter or whatever. Totally, I could buy that. That seems pretty in line with the truth about fairies. I don't know. Like, that's how they get their victims by presenting themselves like cute little creatures.
Mark Goodson worked in town, business consultant.
Cause of death?
He suffocated alone in a locked cell.
Wait a minute.
Full on like rose just emerges from his mouth.
Never seen anything like that before.
I have.
Portside. The searching still. Help me find them again.
It grabs the stone. Where you at?
They have control of the elements. Fire, water.
Oh,
the air
broken.
that we breathe. They can drag that air right.
Yeah, I think you're done, fam. Oh, they're not gonna kill a cat. Come on. Shit's tough. The ray doesn't even look that strong. Also, hype. The actor who plays Owen just pops up in another show that I'm watching. I wouldn't say it in case it spoils it for someone, but pretty hype. I popped off. She's soggy, confirmed.
It wasn't your dad that was in love with her all those years ago, was it? It was you.
Yeah.
Once made a vow that we'd be with each other till we died.
Yeah. I'm like, we've never heard of his father before. I didn't want to say it too early on, but I'm like, that's the idea that I got, too.
I need a drink.
I loved her at first sight. But nothing lasted back then.
Those petals in Goodson's mouth. Where had you seen that before? Was that during the war?
No. Long before then. 15 men with me in charge. Everyone happy.
And then a bunch of fairies just mucked it up?
Too noisy. Then we had a tunnel. Then came the silence.
It's pretty messed up, dude. Oh, it's my birth month.
Because you bought Nick a special stapler.
Don't worry about it.
Oh, that's awful. Having to clean that up, I'd be kind of upset. Proper upset. Thoroughly vexed.
To get in.
You don't want to miss our party, do you? I'd rather
Oh my
go to
god,
the
this looks
party.
like Parasite.
You're right.
No wonder your dad left when you were a baby. See what was coming.
Torchwood, confirmed. Show me the people in this world are extra trash.
Were you waving her?
Just friends.
You don't have friends.
Oh, she's about to fuck some shit up. Yeah, you could see it. She was stepping into that one.
Jasmine?
Oh, man.
Did someone push you, Jasmine?
I have never had to feel threatened in my own home. This means these creatures can invade my life whenever they feel like it, and I am scared, Jack.
I feel like there's a scene missing right before this. We're just gonna see them flying off. Looks like their budget's increasing slightly. Their branding team is... They've hired somebody new for the branding team too. See you, bud.
They can even be in this room.
In this room? When?
Now. They said they'll always look after me, even through time.
When did they say that?
I forget. No! No, please, no!
Get away. Oh!
Ah!
You little bitch.
Don't think that patio expansion's happening anymore, bud.
And now we're looking forward to having children of our own.
About that lightning strike. Those are hard to see. They're just slicing him up. I mean, she's got her exit now, but he got bodied with a capital B. Like, there should be a hole, like, through the back of his skull, surely. That was a nasty hit, according to the sound effect. I mean, now he's blooming.
But what about your mother? Don't you want to stay with her?
Not really, no, yeah.
Find another chosen one.
Too late. She belongs with us. They can make great storms, wild seas. Turn the
Oh, she's on her shit.
Let me go.
She's the bad lad.
God won't be harmed. Answer me! She won't be harmed!
Yeah, I was gonna say I would not be surprised if by the end of this episode he just lets her go. I don't think there's a better alternative.
Take her.
I don't think there's much you can really
Ask
do
me
here,
what
Gwen.
chance.
No!
I'm so sorry.
Damn. She lost her husband of 5 years, best friend, and her daughter? Oof.
What else could I do?
Alright. And that was my reaction video to Torchwood Season 1, Episode 5. That was my reaction video. This was an interesting episode. It's a mix. I'm going to go ahead and say I think this is a mixed bag, although there were elements of this episode I thought were great at points. And then there are also things that held it back for me. So first off, I got to say, having the premise of fairies as like this, as the main villains per se this episode, pretty cool. I thought it was a really good idea, very Doctor Who-y, you know, taking something as, you know, known and popular as fairies. You know, we've done it with statues, we've done it with shadows, etc., and making that scary, or the central focal point of a villain, of an alien threat. I think they did a good job there. I thought the visuals weren't very great for the fairies in terms of how they looked on this, but I think the idea of them being there's like this, these large creatures that can change into this shape of a regular, what we know as fairies, and they kill you through rose petals. I thought that was a really cool idea. The Jack-centric episode that this was, I think on paper it was a really cool idea. We get to see more of Jack Harkness as a character back during the war times a little bit, some of the PTSD that he struggled with, and that being tied to the fairies to some capacity with this one incident. Was actually really cool. I liked how we dove into that. I also thought the idea of this lover that he had that we didn't know about, it was also interesting too. And the way that they just sort of paced along this episode, I think the first half, I actually really liked it. I thought it was paced well, tonally, it all meshed together. And then towards the second half of the episode, I think things started to fall a little bit apart for me. It started to drag a little bit longer. Some of the more emotional bits, I thought the music here was actually well done, but some of the emotional bits, I felt the music was slightly overbearing, where it was almost forcing me to feel the emotion, whereas I like John Barrowman. I felt like the acting here was a little hit and miss for me. I didn't really, like, I thought the idea, like I said, the concept of him having this lover who died and they made a pact with each other, and them showing scenes of him back in 19 whatever it was, you know, back in his past life. I think on paper all that sounds really dope, and I think they executed it decently well, but it just didn't. I feel like the episode slightly missed the mark for me in terms of the emotion and the tone, especially towards the second half. The ideas are all there, and they're decently executed, and they're kind of peaking at moments where they do well, but as a whole it kind of falls flat just a little bit, but those ideas do come through. That's just my analysis of this one going through it. But something that I really did like, and while the ending was extremely dark, I sort of like how, I wish they dove a little bit more into how, and if they do in the future, hopefully we see more of the team sort of barking back at Jack, like, what are you doing? This isn't right. Or we're going to see a little bit more kind of back and forth. Like how they just sort of left it on a super dark note, like, yeah, this child just fucking died, and she just turned into this eternal fairy. This woman just lost her husband and her daughter. And I think that's a pretty depressing note to leave off of, but I like it. And I hope we get more of that, but a little bit more padding before the end. It comes together a little bit better. So yeah, that was my reaction video to episode 5 of Torchwood for season 1. I'm a little bit mixed on it, but I liked some of the ideas here, but just felt a little bit off at points. But overall, pretty decent watch. What do you think about this one? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comment section down below. Again, all these episodes are offering something a little bit different, so I'm excited to see where we're gonna go with in the next episode of Torchwood. So as always, guys, if you enjoyed this video, then definitely be sure to smack that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. And don't forget, guys, in case you're interested in getting the full unedited raw reaction and more, then definitely check out patreon.com/Fellow34 in the description down below. With that being said, guys, I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.